Okay, so I tried recording this a minute ago and apparently the microphone wasn't working. So let's try this again. Hi everybody, this is Charles and I've been enjoying this little game called Kerbal Space Program. I've never done a video quite like this before. I've never done a gaming video before, and playing this particular game, watching other people's videos, you hear about the thing called asparagus staging. And I have never actually seen anybody have a tutorial on how to set it up. So, I thought I would make a video myself. So let's start game. Resume saved, and let's go to Wheatley. First thing we're going to need to do is go to the vehicle assembly building. Now, if you're familiar with Kerbal Space Program at all, you'll know there's all kinds of default buildings, and one of the ways you add on to your rocket to be able to get larger objects into orbit is through using asparagus staging. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make this right here, which I thought the microphone was recording for, but apparently it wasn't. So let's do it again. Anyways, for this particular video, we need the space station core. Now, the actual rocket itself is based on the rocket that Kottabos Games uses in a lot of his videos. So, kudos to him. I don't know an actual given name for him, so can't give one, otherwise I would. The first part you're going to need is your Rocomax brand decoupler, or you could use a docking port here. It's really up to you to connect the rocket to the station itself. And then, under the fuel tanks, use the big orange tank in the middle, the Jumbo 64 fuel tank. And then underneath that, the Rocomax X200-8 fuel tank. Gonna need one of those. And then back under the structural, there's this part called the TT70 radial decoupler. You're gonna want to set it to 6 in a symmetry mode and angle snap, so that way they're actually lined up to each other across the rocket. Put it up about halfway up the orange rocket, should be good. And then we use the jumbo fuel tank again for this purposes. Yes, it is actually overkill, and I didn't put it on the decouplers. There we go. Now it's on there. That'll work. And more of those little things on the bottom. And then, not under command and control, under the engines, for this one, we're going to use mainsail engines. They're just really nice. Lots of power, and it throttles. For the fuel lines to do the asparagus staging, you have to connect the tanks together. The ones that are stacked together are already connected to each other, but they don't feed directly into each other side to side. So what you want to do to make it easy for the asparagus is start on one tank, connect one to another, do it again, and then that second tank that you had attach it to the middle tank. And then repeat the process on the other side. Make sure you don't connect to that one again. That would be bad. The thing with the fuel lines is the direction that you go to attach the 2 points is the direction the fuel flows, so that makes it easy. And one there, and one more up at the top. Now for this next part, and I always scroll it backwards, for the next part, this is the point where I like to go ahead and set the actual staging of the rocket for when it releases the side rockets. So you're going to want to pull up another stage under the staging. When you click on it, it opens up all of the pieces, and you'll notice that it highlights the different ones when you hover over it, and they're all selected. You want to deselect all of them, and then you want to find the ones that are the furthest from the center on the tube, and so on the fuel lines. So that would be not that one, that one, and then do it again. It looks like it's going to be that one. And then you want to do it one more time because there's 2 levels of the asparagus here. And you want this one to be the middle section on the staging, which looks to be that one. Now, the staging is set. The next thing to do for this is to go ahead and set up some struts between the tanks to keep them from smashing into each other on takeoff or as you maneuver. So, for that, we go back to structural. Just click symmetry mode once. It doesn't really matter. It will snap it back to the 6 on its own. Just click up towards the top and connect the orange tanks together there. Once again at the bottom. You don't have to go super crazy with the support. And then I like to do, because of the way that, because it's asparagus, a diagonal on the top, and then for the next one I gotta bring this up a bit, bring it around to the bottom, and I think I can hit that like that. Woo. Over there. That should be good. Now, since I already have a space station in orbit, I am going to slap this little mod on here called MechJeb so I don't have any Kerbals on board. I only need one. So, we shall go remove the crew, and let's launch this thing. So, here we go. Hit the SAS to turn it on. Throttle up a bit. You don't have to have full throttle the whole way through the launch. Actually, that would be bad. So, all the engines should start up. Everything is staged. Let's go. Yeah, it's really, really loud. Real rockets are louder. You'd be deaf. I like to go up straight until at least after the first separation. MechJeb starts your gravity turn way too early. It starts at about 600 meters. Better throttle back. Okay. When you get wobble like that, throttle back. It'll settle it down. Means you're going too fast. Separate that first stage. Looking pretty good. The general school of thought is around 10,000 meters. So that would be about here. Tilted over to about 90. Woo! Getting a little too far over there. Oh, come on now. A little too much. Come on, fine 90. It's gonna be a little tough. No SAS or anything on this. Roll it a bit. Come on. Roll it over. I roll it over a bit so that they don't hit it. It's a little harder to control. There's no RCS or anything on it, so, or aerodynamic fins. And that's what I was trying to avoid. But it turned on me, so. Yeah, not my best asparagus launch. Okay, well, let's try that again. Nice thing with Kerbal Space Program, you can do it over again. Let's try that again. it successfully. I can get in, launch it successfully, get in orbit successfully. I can even land the thing. Come on. And let's see. Rotate the other way. There we go. Alright. Unfortunately, without MacTib, it doesn't lock it into place, but that should work. Alright, let's hope this works a little better this time. Spin it while it's doing it. We're not breaking the rocket this time. Alright, back to map view. Well, not to map view. How is our apoapsis? Better step on the gas a little. Whew. Wobbles. Kill the throttle. Add to maneuver. Pull the prograde. Oh, geez. 112, 87, a little more. 93, a smidge more. 94. $98. Gonna be a fairly eccentric orbit, but that's okay. Hit the maneuver button. Use the rockets because this thing has no RCS. Nice. It's bending because there's nothing holding it together, unfortunately. But I will be losing that stage here in a minute. So they're empty. I don't need them anymore. Overshot. That's okay. Good enough. Extend our solar panels. And let's roll it some more. And go ahead and stage that. Not because we have to, but because we can. And now, there's a space station in orbit. And, as a bonus, I have a little treat for after this. So, revert to the vehicle assembly building. Alright. Load. Let's see, where is it? There it is. This particular rocket is set up so that instead of just dropping 2 at a time, it loses 3 engines at a time, which I'm pretty sure is not very efficient, but I thought it would be fun nonetheless. So, here it is in action. And you can do much more advanced stuff than this with the asparagus staging. Multiple levels of rockets and whatnot. But, yeah. So, I forgot to take my Kerbal out. Oh well. Rocking back and forth, or you start getting atmospheric effects. You need to back off on the throttle a little. Some people may have noticed that I don't have struts holding the load on. But that's because the more weight you have, the less fuel you will have when you get to orbit. It costs in fuel for you to lift all that extra weight, and you can keep your object from swaying by controlling your throttle. It's a variable throttled liquid fuel engine. It's not like the solid rocket boosters, where it's full throttle the whole way into orbit. Speaking of which, kill the throttle here. Oh geez, gonna be a fairly high orbit. 220 by 122. I could probably take that down a lot. 108, 123. That'll work. And once again, there's no RCS on this rocket. I just didn't bother to. If it was something I was going to dock or use, I would have put RCS on it. Come on. Started at about there ought to work. Close enough. Stage 7. Well, like I said, it's not necessarily the most fuel efficient method, but it works, and we got basically the entire orange tank into orbit with a full tank. And there you have it, a brief tutorial on how to set up and use asparagus staging in Kerbal Space Program. Hope this video helps. If you like this video, please like it, comment below, and subscribe. I don't know if if or when I'll put another video out, but... And there we go. We're in orbit above Kerbal. So, see you in the next one.